Well, the model is changing. I'm not fussy about that. One of my partners, said, "What do you think about ripping off downloads?" He said, "Thieves, and robbers." And I go, "No, it's just the way the creature is built now. We don't. Used to be record companies put the bands out on the road for a break even in order to sell records.
Yeah.
And now you make records in order to draw people into your shows.
It's complete. We were talking about this.
Yeah.
The dynamic is as reversed, where the money is going to be in the performance, and the album is in support of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit. You'd make a little, a couple of hundred at a show from selling them as souvenirs. But basically, it's the other way around.
How many? Because I got to imagine you are probably for many who were girls at the time, now adult women. You're probably a holy grail at some point. The Peter fans. Do you get out at your shows someone who says I've been waiting for this moment since the NBA?
Yeah, like you.
I don't get that.
I'm joking.
They confuse me for you all the time.
Yeah, right. Some kids come up to me. I'm your biggest fan. I got them coming in at 300 pounds. But yeah, there's a lot, and it's funny, I've been doing this touring with the band and meet and greets afterwards, in units of hundreds now, not thousands, which you can't do, meet and greets. You have to do lotteries or special purchases and what have you. But at 100 or 200, 100 I can handle. 200 is too many. But I think I probably autographed every Monkees album that's ever been put out.
Really?
Wow. Just about. Yeah.
And you probably see a lot of bootlegs and stuff too, right? I mean, there's
no bootlegs.
No bootlegs. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No.
You know what's wild, Peter, is I can imagine that you could over the course of years take a look at whoever the artist du jour is, the heartthrob du jour, right now, like a Justin Bieber, and seeing all these screaming girls going crazy, these appearances, and just go, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, right. Yeah. And I didn't understand it at first. I went to a Beatles concert and the girls were screaming. I said, "This is the greatest musical group of all time. Why aren't you listening?" Yeah. And I really had to come to grips with it. And I finally figured out, the little girl comes in and the screen door slams and her mother gives her a ration for it, and just says, "Shut up and express yourself and shut up." And the little girls are driving crazy. And at one place where they're allowed to give vent to the whole thing, they give vent to the whole thing, and that's what it's all about.
It's the process.
Speaking of the Beatles, were you as intimidated as one might be when you guys had the chance to early on in your career, as you were hitting, though, had a chance to have an audience with those guys?
Well, it's interesting. We met there was an arranged kind of function, and we got to hang out with them for an evening, and it was pretty easygoing.
Good.
It was Mickey, John Lennon, and George Harrison came in singing the Hare Krishna chant, only going Mickey, Mickey, Dolan's, Mickey, Dolan's, Mickey, Dolan's.
Are you kidding?
No, yeah, and so it was all very easygoing, and to this day, Mickey hangs with Paul and says, what a great guy he is.
Oh, that's cool.
And then months later, I ran across John on the street and got tongue-tied.
Oh, really?
Isn't that wild? Yeah, because there's also the legend of you guys. You were the people who introduced, for the better part of the world, Jimi Hendrix.
Uh-huh.
Were there other musicians that came along the way that you were able, because you all seem to be into being a conduit for good musicians?
Well, Mike had Zappa on the show.
Wow.
Zappa was on the Monkees show.
Don't remember
really?
that.
Yeah. I think, what was it? Mike put on a big fake nose, and it was interesting. Mike had, beard and nose and was made up to look like Frank.
Yeah.
And next to Frank, he looked like a baby. I mean, Zappa was so fierce and driven, that Mike looked like a just, all cuddly. There, again, we're looking at it up on the screen. I wish you guys could see this.
That's great.
Are they getting it on the iPod, on the podcast?
No.
Too bad, yep.
But check it out. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they have it up on the screen. That's great. And Zappa's wearing the skull cap, the wool hat, and the monkey shirt.
That's funny. I mean, with those big names, you could tell you guys obviously were just music fans. You
Yeah,
just
oh yes, absolutely.
love great musicians and music.
And I have to say, one of the things about the Monkees series as a whole was that one of the reasons that it flew was that the producers were Beatle fans, which meant that they wanted to be part of all this. They weren't standing away chomping a cigar saying, the kids will love this. They wanted to be in it, and so they were into some of the important stuff. You know, when somebody comes from the outside and they looks outside, they just pick up on the most obvious details and run with it. It's never real. But these guys were part of it. They wanted to be.
The show holds up, and you can clearly see that they were influenced by Richard Lester, who directed A Hard Day's Night and Help, and then that staccato pacing. Yeah, it's very cool.
The Lennon used to say, well, they're not the Beatles, are they? They're the Marx Brothers.
Right. Yeah.
And, so there's something to that too, which brings up another point. We got a lot of flack for the business of not making our own albums, but the Beatles and the Stones and the Mamas and the Papas and people like that who were at the top of their own respective genres didn't give us any flack at all. It was the second-ranked guys who were giving us a hard time.
That's very wild. That's interesting.
Yeah. By the way, I just saw this text that came in. It says, I met Peter at the Galaxy in Summerdale years ago, and I ended up going home with him.
Oh.
No reaction from Peter
is
Tork.
This guy?
Well,
did she sign her name?
She didn't. No.
No. Okay. Well,
her number's on the screen, Peter.
Yeah, we do have her number.
Give her a call. Yeah.
She wants you to come meet little Peter.
I'm being a good boy these days.
Yes,
I'm being faithful and true. I am.
I love it. They're playing tonight. Peter's band is called Shoe Suede Blues, which is absolutely one of the coolest names ever.
Thank you.
Sellersville Theater, 7:30 is when the show, and tickets are still available. Here is the website if you want to get all the information.
Actually, isn't Edgewood, Maryland, almost about as far away, about the same distance?
I don't even know where Edgewood, Maryland is.
That's in the Baltimore area. How far away are you?
You're pretty good.
Not too bad,
it's a short.
It's fairly near the Baltimore area. So that's
roughly 2
Sellersville
hours.
Theater. Come to the cell. That's going to be a theater show. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
But if you're way to the south of us and you can't make Sellersville, think about the alternative.
You have the other option.
And the website is st94.com. That's so think Sellers Theater, st94.com to get ticket information. I know we have to do a couple of other segments, right?
Yeah, so this is just the first part of the Peter Tork interview.
Okay, great. So let's pay some bills and,
all right, and then we'll
chat after.
We'll wrap up with Peter.
I can't wait to talk
Peter
more
can
to you
join
guys.
us.
I'm having such a good time.
Peter will join us for music news. How about that?
All
Which is
right.
appropriate. All right, Peter Tork is joining us for music news, everybody.
93.3 WMMR.
Give me some coffee. I want to read.
Steve's
All right,
music.
you want something to read?
There you go.
Okay.
You want to lead with that?
Skipping the stuff that's been written, that's crossed off.
Yeah, just cover the highlighted stuff.
On the Bonnaroo. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, you want to
wait, we gotta do the sponsor
read the
first.
highlight.
Oh,
Okay,
wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Peter.
Sure.
The music news is brought to you by Bassett's Ice Cream. Finish off a fabulous meal at Redstone Grill in Marlton, New Jersey, or Plymouth Meeting with one of their delicious signature dishes featuring rich, creamy Bassett's Ice Cream.
They sponsor?
Yes,
That
Bassett's
is,
Ice Cream.
I was equally like, oh my God.
No. It's Bassett's mentioning that they have Bassett's Ice Cream.
I don't care.
at
Just as good.
Redstone. A Philadelphia tradition since 1861. All right, Peter, what do you have?
The U.S. and the U.K. will rock out with two major festivals this weekend, June 8 through 10, as the Bonnaroo Festival takes over Manchester, Tennessee, for 4 days of alternative rock, electronic, and pop music, while England's Download Festival focuses on the harder edge of rock. This year's Bonnaroo lineup includes the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Radiohead, Fish, the Beach Boys. Are they still?
Yeah. They were here. They're coming here soon.
Bon Iver, The Shins, Skrillex, Alice Cooper, Feist, Flogging Molly. That sounds like fun. Ben Folds 5, The Roots, Bad Brains, The Civil Wars, The Joy Formidable, Group Love, and more. Fans who can't make it to the festival will be able to watch performances and other programming at Bonnaroo 365, a new festival channel launched on YouTube. Meanwhile, England's Donington Park will be home this weekend to one of the hardest rocking festivals around as the 10th annual Download Festival roars to life. Metallica will headline on Saturday night and play the Black Album in its entirety, while Black Sabbath will play the Metallica album. Wait a minute. Black Sabbath will close the festival on Sunday with one of just 3 live appearances scheduled for this year. Other acts on the bill include The Prodigy, Soundgarden, It's at Soundgarden. It's Garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rise Against, Machine Head, Tenacious D, Shinedown, Hailstorm, Kill Switch, Engage, Anthrax, and many more too disgusting to mention.
Nice.
Too numerous.
Peter Tork. That's cold copy. Reading that right off the presses.
Right off the paper, right into English language through my eyes and everything. Well, it's getting to be time.
You got to go?
I got a couple more minutes.
Let me wrap this up and then we'll finish this. I do have some sad news in music news. Bob Welch, a former member of Fleetwood Mac, was found dead in his home in Nashville yesterday from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Terrible. I was a fan of his stuff.
Yeah, one of his big hits that he did was Sentimental Lady.
Do we have that over? Quick clip?
I'm not really sure.
Yes.
You know that song. According to Nashville police, he shot himself in the chest, and his body was discovered by his wife around noon. Welch had been suffering from health issues recently, and he left a suicide note. The Los Angeles born guitarist joined Fleetwood Mac in 1971 when the band was beginning to evolve from its initial setup as a hard-edge blues British combo into a polished pop rock act.
That's terrible.
Sad news, yeah.
There's this trend of suicides of people shooting themselves in the chest so that their brains can be studied afterwards. And I don't know if he was dealing with depression or anything like that, but it's a really weird. The Junior Seau did it as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
On that account?
Yeah, because he'd been damaged. His brain had been damaged so badly by playing in the NFL that he wanted it to be
there's
studied.
that thing about football.
Yeah.
90% of everybody who's ever played football at any organized level has suffered permanent damage.
Wow.
Not good, including my son.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Who has a bum knee as a result of just playing Pop Warner football.
Am I the only one on the show that played league football?
Oh, Kathy.
I think that says something.
Kathy was a linebacker.
What it counts, because I played in the YMCA.
Okay. I played for Folsom and Fatima, so.
How old were you?
I played for, up till 8th grade.
Does the prison league count?
Yes, that counts.
And then I was
Listen, here's a story locally. We knew that Dave Grohl was in town not too long ago. He was around Rittenhouse. There was a wedding that he was in town for. And it was reported in the Enquirer and Daily News that over the Memorial Day weekend while here, he went to Smith & Wolanski, which is right next to the Rittenhouse. And he went to the bar for a few drinks. On Friday night, he had one drink, but returned Saturday night for just a couple more. Both times. Left a $1,000 tip.
$1,000 tip?
One drink?
Hell of a nice guy.
Who was bartending?
I do not.
She had to be hot.
Either that or codependent to the max. Let me please you.
Each drink is $10,000.
Oh, in his defense.
Yeah.
I understand that. The upcoming reissue of the Smashing Pumpkins classic 1995 double album, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, could contain as many as, listen to this, 75 previously unreleased tracks. 75? The original 28-song set, by the way, will be reissued as part of the ongoing restoration of the Pumpkins catalog. Billy Corgan said that the new Melancholy could come with as many as 3 extra CDs full of unreleased cuts and alternate mixes. A concert DVD may also be included in the package. The revamped set is expected out later this year, while the new Pumpkins album, Oceana, arrives on June 19th. And then one last story. YouTube bassist Adam Clayton appeared in court on Wednesday at the trial of his former housekeeper who's accused of stealing the UK equivalent of nearly $3.9 million from him between 2004 and 2008. Carol Hawkins allegedly spent money that she took from her former employer on property, including a New York apartment, cars, horses, vacations, and jewelry.
As long as the important stuff.
Right, yeah. When you see your maid driving up in a Lamborghini.
She was withdrawing amounts ranging from $1,200 to $45,000 from his bank accounts over the course of 13 months. She pleaded not guilty to the charges, and her trial is expected to last about 6 weeks.
We have a picture of the maid up here in the studio. This is she did a dinner theater version of E.T.
Right.
And
she was the E.
She's wrapped up in a towel. Yeah. That's very weird. Well, listen, I want to reiterate Peter Tork and the Shoe Suede Blues. They are playing tonight, Sellersville Theater
in Sellersville, strangely enough,
at 7:30. It's a great place.
Yeah, I'm dying to see it. Well, I hope not, but I'm
not clinically.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. People say, gee, I'm looking forward to your show tonight, and it occurs to me that if they looked backward, they'd miss it. So, y'all folks, come to the show. Bring your money.
Yes, bring your money.
Yes. And you can get tickets at www.st94.com. Peter Tork, thanks for being here.
God, what a pleasure. You guys are such a joy to work with. Thank you. And thanks, too, for the studio audience for not getting into the act.
All right, Peter Tork, we're going to take a break and be back in a moment. Stay there.